All right, welcome to Business with Haitian American Millennials. Today we have a very special episode for you. Today I'm going to be interviewing
Daniel.
All right, yeah. He's a entrepreneur, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Welcome to Business with Haitian American Millennials. Would you like to tell them your name, your age, and what do you do?
I'm Daniel. I'm 29 years old, and I am a photographer and a musician. But I own a photography business in Union, New Jersey, 1018 Stuyvesant Avenue, and I've been doing that for since 2012.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been doing it since 2012. So now we're one of the top wedding companies in the Haitian industry right now, in the Haitian market right now, for the tri-state area. So
Nice. What did you say the company was called again?
DanielStudiosPhototography.
Okay, yeah. Nice. I'll be sure to put some links down below for you guys. If you need a wedding photographer, apparently he's your man. Do you only do Haitian weddings?
No, I do. We do. We tap every Well, I don't only do Haitian weddings. Okay. We do everything. All right,
cool. Yeah, so listen, you don't got to be Haitian. Anybody else? Check out his work. It's pretty sick. Yeah. All right. So you want to give us a brief history on so tell us. You said you started back in 2012, correct?
Yeah.
So give us a brief summary or history of what it was like when you first started. How did you first start? Okay. So what it was like kind of midway, and then what it's like now.
Okay. So I first started back in 2012 as a funny story. So back then I used to work at a studio in Manhattan, and I used to go to Manhattan a lot, and then I got my refund check from Union County, and I was trying to figure out what should I do with that money.
Okay, so like college, the school?
College.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so with that being said, I had a decision to make. My dad used to always tell me, yo, you should buy a camera. And I was like, I want a laptop, for music. Mm-hmm. So I had to make the decision between getting a laptop or a camera, and I made the decision to get a camera. And the reasons behind it was a little off. As a college student, I was using the camera. I was planning on buying the camera so I can, one, go to parties for free. so you don't have to pay for, you have a camera, you don't have to pay to get in the club, Mm-hmm. And so then when I got my camera, I started taking photos, and within the first 2 days, I got my first gig.
Nice.
So within the first 2 days, I got my first gig. I was using the Facebook platform at the time. Mm-hmm. I uploaded a couple photos that I took, just randomly, and somebody reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I want you to cover my event." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." So I showed up. Didn't even, I didn't know anything about business. So I didn't send an invoice, nothing. I got there, and then I did a couple. I shot the event, mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, the lady handed me an envelope. $50. I was like, "Oh, hey,
nice.
As a college student, then that $50 was a lot of money." Hey, so I was like, "Yo."
That refund check started to pay itself back, I guess.
Yeah.
So you didn't even realize it, but you was already making a return on your investment.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was like, okay. And I bought the camera for like $450 at the time. So I was like, okay, $50 down, $400 more.
Just a few more, little things like that, and you could.
Yeah. So.
All right. So I guess you went to Union County College. Did you go to any other schools? Did you finish? What was your school career like?
So I just went to Union County College. I was there for 2 years and a half. Mm-hmm. You know how the system is. Once you get in, it's kind of hard. But I had one semester left. Yeah. I had one semester left. When I was at my last semester, I registered for classes, started going to classes. Mm-hmm. And then I'm playing for a band now. Mm-hmm. And at the time, they were very high demand. So they were going on tours, traveling the world, and stuff like that. And then for me, that opportunity was an opportunity for me that I personally felt like I couldn't give up. Mm-hmm. With the whole, traveling the world and all that. So I decided to give up school and pursue my music career.
How old were you at the time?
At the time, it was 2014. Yeah, when I made that decision. So I was 24 years old.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from there, I decided maybe I'll come back, but it's been years now. I haven't went back yet. But yeah, so I decided to just focus on my music career and as well as the photography. By then I was 2 years in, and I had already started establishing a name for myself. And I started seeing potential growth within what I was doing. So I decided let me just focus on those things as opposed to school.
Okay, so so you chose to focus on your own personal things. So you chose to focus on the music and photography.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it like? So I see what it was like in the beginning. You were just doing gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
How did it end up becoming structured?
Okay. So after so my sister got married and I did her wedding. And, of course it's my sister, so I went above and beyond for her wedding. To this day, I think those were some of the more most beautiful images I've taken within my career. And those set of photos actually put me on the map. So those photos, once the client seen the work, everybody started getting a lot of inquiries for like big jobs. Weddings, we consider those big jobs. So then at that point, I was like, you know what, I need to find a way to kind of put myself out there, because at the time the market was dominated by white people, for lack of better terms, Caucasians. You couldn't go to a Haitian wedding without seeing a white photographer. At the time. So at that point, I was like, you know what, I want to make a difference. I want, at the time Haitians had a stigma like, people didn't really like doing business with other Haitians and stuff. So I was like, I want to make sure that I can at least, set a rep where we get a good rep where, people can start respecting us as entrepreneurs and as photographers, Black people in general. So I started, so I teamed up with a friend of mine. I taught him, I was also doing video as well. So I taught him the ins and outs of videography, and then we teamed up and then we started doing photography and video together. And we started offering packages to people. At the time, it was kind of hard because you're just out there trying to make your value, but a lot of people don't really see your value.
So now you gotta convince it. You gotta sell yourself.
You gotta sell yourself. So I gotta sell myself. One, I'm young, so as a young person trying to target adults. I wasn't that young, but I was young enough to the point where people would doubt me and my skill set. I'm trying to convince adults that, I'm professional, blah, blah. So, a couple years go by, we start doing jobs. It wasn't easy because we didn't really have a structure. So we were just, doing jobs, and I was working out of my, I had a room for rent type John.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was working out of a room, and me and him, we would have our laptop set up, and then we would take turns. We only had the one computer.
Oh, okay.
So I would edit photos, and then when I was done, he would go, and I was like, yo, here's the laptop. And then edit the videos. Okay. Yeah. So then, we try to get that out to clients. And then 2016, my brother, who was now my business partner, he saw the potential. He always saw the potential. He was always doing his own thing, but then he saw that the type of work that we were doing, it was really good, but we just didn't have the structure. Everything wasn't set up how it needed to be to run an effective business. So he came in and we started writing out a business plan for the business, and then from there we decided to actually expand the business, and not, instead of just me and my guy friend that was doing the videography, we decided to hire on other videographers and other photographers, and just brand ourselves as a wedding company where we're doing multiple weddings a day. So we started doing that. It was kind of hard at first because everybody only knew my face. Okay. So it was the process where we had to convince other people that were booked, that were wanting to book me. We had to convince them that we had photographers that were just as good. So with that process.
So now it's building the whole trust. Now
Yeah.
you already built the trust for yourself, but now you
Yeah.
had to build this trust for your company.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
The reputation.
The
Okay.
reputation, yeah. So with that being said, we wrote out a business plan. We set up the margins that we needed to hit, and then from there, we were renting a small studio. We moved to a small studio, a shared studio space, with another photographer friend that I knew. From there, we were there for about a year, and then after that, we moved on to 1018, which is where we're at now.
Okay. 1018
Stuyvesant Avenue, which is our main office, our headquarters.
Okay.
Yeah, so
nice.
Yeah, with that being said, we established ourselves here. We branded ourselves here, so making it. So
and now you guys are the premier.
Yeah, premier. We've been published in magazines. We've won awards for photography as well. So we got recognized by the mayor of Union for our work.
Nice. So you guys have a lot of accolades. Accolades.
Yeah, I don't know. So, and then we were even, we were even successful in obtaining like major contracts. I'm talking about like government contracts where we're shooting stuff for the senators of New Jersey.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So like we
who like Cory Booker? Or?
We were able to get like contracts with like Leroy Jones. Some of these big names like Democratic, some of these Democrats that work out of New Jersey in the Essex County area, we were able to get a lot of referrals from them. So they gave us opportunities to hit bigger jobs.
Okay.
So now, we have like these nice contracts with the government.
So nice. So again, I guess you guys don't only do weddings and you don't only deal with Haitians apparently.
Yeah.
So you guys are pretty good. Just went from having a camera just to get into clubs to look at you now. All right. Have you ever worked like a traditional job?
Yes, I have. Part of this process required me to work a traditional job. I was working at the bank.
Okay.
The bank was a great job. I was really good at what I did. I was the top 5 sellers within my region. I was really good, but it got to a point, or that same turning point where I had to make the decision between school and my music career was around the same time where I also had to give that 9-to-5 job up as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So because of the demand of being away for every weekend, so I just couldn't hold the job. So I had to let that job go. But so I've worked the 9-to-5, and then I've worked like warehouse jobs, out of high school, going into college, warehouse jobs and stuff. So
nice. So would you, how would you compare this self-employed life compared to the traditional 9-to-5 working life?
I gotta say this. 9-to-5, it's cool. Let me tell you why it's cool. Because you go to work at 9, you leave at 5. That's the cool thing about it. Versus being a business owner, like the minute you wake up, like the clock is on.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because the key to being an entrepreneur, you have to stay ahead of the game. You have to stay competitive, or else you're gonna die. You're gonna sink. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna sink in the business, especially in a business like photography, where it's actually very competitive every day, and then the resources to becoming a photographer are getting easier to accommodate. Like
so the entry barrier is getting lower.
Yeah, it's getting lower and lower. You know what I'm saying? So back then, if I wanted a professional grade camera, I had to spend about $2,000 and some change to get it. Now you can get crazy cameras at affordable prices, and a lot of entry level kids are coming in, and messing up the market. But like I said,
you probably get a new kid come in like, oh yeah, I'll do that wedding for like $45.
So you have to kind of always be on your P's and Q's. So I gotta say the non like the having the 9 to 5 versus being an entrepreneur. The 9 to 5 helps you be like, it helps me do this better because I had that kind of experience. I know the system, like where you have to kind of discipline yourself to wake up in the morning to make sure that you set a schedule and have a routine, which is so. And the same thing is what ends up happening is you work for yourself, and what ends up happening is there are slow days and there are busy days. Once it's slow, if you're not pushing yourself to continue to try to get clients and whatnot, you'll quickly be like, oh, I don't have nothing to do today, I'm gonna chill. And I'm not gonna lie, that happened to me a lot, like especially in the earlier phases. It used to happen to me a lot. Like I wasn't pushing I felt like I wasn't pushing myself hard enough because I got comfortable. Versus a 9 to 5, you have a boss. That boss is always on you. Making sure that you're working, because at the end of the day, they want their company to grow. So in the same light, it's the same thing. So you working for yourself.
Now you're that boss. Yeah, you want your company to grow.
You want your company to grow. Even if it's within yourself, you have to push yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to be your own boss and push your own self to, meet your boundaries, meet your goals, all that. Otherwise,
I guess a lot of people, there's an idea that, you quit a 9 to 5 job so that you could wake up late and you can do whatever you want and stuff like that. It's not like that.
No. You know what? No. It can be like it does. Like there are opportunities where you definitely can kind of relax a little bit more. But at the same light, it's very demanding where you can't let that get to your head. You know what I'm saying? You can't let I can wake up whenever I want. I work for myself because a part of the process of me growing to where I'm at now, I went through that phase, and and then to the point I was living gig to gig. So I would get a job, like I would get a photography job, and then I'd blow the money. So there was no discipline there. Boom, and then I was like cool, and then when it started getting slow, I'm like, oh, I had to force myself to wake up, you know what I'm saying? But back then, I was just chilling, just going to the jobs, boom. But now I know, I have to wake up in the morning, set a schedule, set a goal, make sure I meet, get decent amount of clients in order to, make a sustainable income or to provide for the business and stuff like that. I think I kind of sidetracked off the question.
It was just like, I said a lot of people, they think that they could just wake up whenever they feel like. They don't have to really be disciplined. That's how come they want to become self-employed and leave their job and stuff. Like, is that the case? Do you feel like you have to be more disciplined, or can you be more relaxed as a self-employed individual versus a 9 to 5?
As a self-employed individual, it just depends on where you want to go. I think if you really want to make it and corner your market, I think you have to kind of discipline yourself to work hard, like wake up early and discipline yourself to to do certain things at a certain time. Otherwise, if you start to relax and slack, I'm not saying you're not going to be successful, but you'll find that the more successful people are the people that wake up in the morning and then do what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? So you can do it now. You could be self-employed to chill, but you're probably not gonna be self-employed for long. So,
you'll be living the gig to gig, like you said. All right. So, what would you say the best thing is about being self-employed, and the worst thing?
Best thing is I can wake up whenever I want. So I can wake up. Well, literally, it is the best thing. I can wake up whenever I want. Even though I can wake up whenever I want. But the best thing about it is the fact that, for me personally, is I'm doing what I love. So it literally never feels like I'm working. You know what I'm saying? I'll wake up in the morning, and I'm happy to come to my office. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's the advantage for me. For one, I feel like you have to love what you do. And the disadvantages are slow seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Slow seasons, because I wouldn't even call it a disadvantage. I would call it more so a challenge for me. So the disadvantage is the fact that, hey, you never know. Like, you don't know when your next check is gonna come, or you know, you have people, employees that'll leave, or or quit. It's just like that whole process of being a boss.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is kind of stressful, but if you know what you're doing, and
So unlike in a 9 to 5, you're always guaranteed that paycheck.
Yeah, you're always guaranteed a paycheck.
Now it's like,
it's like
it's what you put into it.
Yeah, literally.
You sleep.
But
yeah,
unless you got some type of setup where your income is residual, which there is. Like, that's the one thing I always try to teach my mentors here too. I mean, my interns, like, make sure you have some type of residual income, whether it's through like stock footage, uploading stuff online. That's what I do. Like, I upload stuff online and just let it sell itself. Even if it's like chump change, but it comes.
That's smart. Yeah. So now you don't necessarily have to be actively working. That's more passive.
Yeah, more passive. Yeah.
Okay, smart. So now it might not be a lot, but it does something during the slow seasons, right?
Lunch money, gas money, and all.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. That's smart.
So yeah,
good way to think about it. Well, since we're talking about money and slow seasons and stuff like that, would you, since you've left working a 9 to 5, a traditional job, to now, do you make more money or less money? I'm sure that's what we really want to know. This is what we need to know. Like, all of this is swell and dandy and all, but am I going to make money, or do you make money being self-employed, or is this just a hobby?
I do make money. I do make way more money than I did when I was working 9 to 5.
Okay.
So, but it wasn't always like that. I always gotta say that, because there are times where you're literally eating bread and water like 2 months straight. Because there's those times, but then up until we had officially established ourselves, and became like I said, when my business partner came in and we actually set a business plan and put everything into motion, it was hard because I was making money, but I was spending it just as quick as I was making it. So there also comes that point, that part where you have to also know how to manage what you make.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, all the money you make doesn't, like, you can make $10,000 in 1 month, and then the next month you literally make like $500 or nothing.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So
wow.
Yeah, so it's like that. So it's like, you have to make sure you definitely manage your money well, or if you don't, just have an accountant. Hire an accountant. Believe me, it sounds expensive, but if you don't know how to manage money, just hire an accountant to do it for you, and believe me, you'll thank yourself later.
Oh, because it's more expensive to blow all that bread.
Yeah, believe me, because you don't want to.
Have you ever been there where your account looks so fat, and then later you're looking at it like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, I tell you, that happens all the time, more than you can think. It's like you got to make sure, you just got to make sure you're on top of things, and you just have healthy spending habits, and healthy just be more budget, just learn how to budget yourself.
Okay. What are your plans for like the future retirement? Speaking, since we were already talking about money and how much you make and everything.
Okay. Yeah. So the plans for me, I was definitely thinking about like tapping into the real estate, because I do it with my partners as well. We currently do like fix and flips and stuff like that. But even for me, I was thinking of even just, I don't want to like quit the photography thing altogether, but I was definitely thinking about becoming an educator within the system. Yeah, so right now I'm currently mentoring, a lot of, like, I have taken a batch of mentors every season for the upcoming summer season that's coming for the wedding season. So I want to continue to do that. So even if it's just through like on like web schools, like the online schools, and just selling classes and stuff like that.
Nice.
And then I always say don't put your eggs in one basket. So real estate, tap into, get a couple of investment properties, so that way everything's paid for itself.
True. That way all the investment properties, even if you're not taking pictures, the property is still
paying for the business. So
smart guys. A smart man right here.
So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to in my future. So,
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, in conclusion, do you have any tips or things to consider for somebody who may be on the fence, on maybe somebody else who's in that position of, should I go into entrepreneurship or should I stick with school or stick with my 9 to 5?
I always say, if you're already doing a 9 to 5, I would say stick to it, and then just add like a schedule where you can start perfecting your craft or what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And then when the time comes, you'll know, and you can just quit the 9 to 5. Like, so it's always a risky. Like, I actually have a friend now who's he was on the verge. He actually quit his job, but he was on the verge. Like, he couldn't make the decision between whether he wanted to quit his job and do his business full time. Mm-hmm. Making T-shirts and stuff. And at first, it was a tough decision for him, but he stuck through it. So he was working his 9 to 5 during the day, and at night he would literally commit all his free time to his business until he, started landing a couple nice clients. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, you know what? He walked into his job one day and was like, I'm out of here. so yeah, idea. So and then I always say, even if you, as far as school goes, I would say definitely. I would say if you're already in school, I would say, I wouldn't say finish it because I didn't, but I mean it's definitely like I would definitely consider like finishing it, because there was, for me personally, because if it wasn't for those decisions I had to make, I would have definitely went back and finished, because I literally had only one semester left. It's always good, as a black person, living in America, it's always good to have those type of degrees, because the odds are always stacked against you. So always having that one up on anything, is always a good benefit. You know what I'm saying? So, and then if you have a 9 to 5, I would say work it so you can have money to invest in your business.
That's right. So, you're right.
So because at the end of the day, when I was starting, even though I bought my first camera, I was working a warehouse job at first, working at FedEx, and I was slaving. I was putting in hours, making sure I can buy all the gear I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're making you're in your craft, but at the end of the day, you just started, so you don't really have enough clients to sustain yourself. So you kind of have to play that game. Okay,
so I guess kind of like riding a bike with training wheels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So. And then, like me personally, like I said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you like, oh, I quit, and then you want to start a business, and then you have no idea, no plan, no nothing, you're gonna end up back at a 9 to 5, and So one, I would say, quit when you're ready. But before you do that, another tip I would say is to have a plan. Definitely have a plan. And by those plans, everybody can have a plan, but the way you break it down is to set goals. And you can set weekly goals, monthly goals, and a yearly goal.
Nice.
So that will help you definitely stay on the right track, especially if you follow that goal.
If you keep up with it.
Yeah, if you keep up with it, yeah. So.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, yo. You've been. That's been really informative. This has been Daniel, DP, whatever you guys want to call him. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click that little notification bell down below and everything. If you guys have any questions for DP, feel free to leave a comment. If you want to reach out for him, book him, maybe get mentored by him, I'll have all his contact information down below as well. And if you guys have any suggestions for a future video, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. See you guys soon. And yeah.